Kevin Lerena will be fighting Ryan Merhy in defense of his WBC Bridgerweight title on the 30th of May of this year in Belgium. So this is actually a rematch because the two fought each other back in 2023 in Johannesburg, South Africa, with Kevin winning by unanimous decision. And yeah, this fight was announced, I think, on Friday, or was it yesterday? I can't remember, but really interesting development, because I did a video about a few weeks ago saying that Kevin Lerena was talking a potential fight with Jai Opetaia, and then a couple of other options as well for him to fight at heavyweight. But this is obviously a defense of his WBC Bridgerweight title, and it's important for him clearly to defend the title. He can't just sit on it. The WBC will probably be putting pressure on him. I know that Riyad Merhy's last two opponents were a bit bigger than the Bridgerweight weight limit, but he's definitely ranked up there, and it's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight for them to hash it out again. My money would be on Kevin Lerena. Obviously he's my countryman, but secondly, I just think if you look at the last 5 opponents, even the last 6 opponents, Riyad Merhy included, who he beat, I would definitely say that Kevin's list of opponents are far better. He's fought Justice Hooney and gave him a really good fight. He's just gone the distance with Lawrence Okoli, who, you know, he's got devastating power, and he's a real spoiler. And I think Kevin didn't have the best outing against him, but you know, he came out of that relatively unscathed as well. You know, he fought Senad Gashi to win the title, well, to win the interim version of the WBC title. He was upgraded to full title holder when Lawrence Okoli moved up, but he also defended it against kind of unheralded opponent in Sergey Radchenko. And I will mention that before Kevin fought he fought Riyad Merhy in 2023, he in December 2022 had that like barn burner with Daniel Dubois. So, you know, a lot of people would argue that Kevin was kind of a bit almost robbed in that fight, because, well, we won't get into it, but there's definitely a lot of controversy surrounding that. I'd love to see those two do it again. But yeah, if you look at Riyad Merhy's last 5 opponents, you know, his latest outing was against a guy called Gora Niang from Senegal, who is not great. I think 7-2. He fought another 2 kind of journeyman heavyweights, and then he lost to Jared Anderson, but he has a split decision win over Tony Yoka, who fights Lawrence Okoli in April. And you know, that would be probably his best win, even though he is a former WBA Cruiserweight champion, which of course is kind of, he won the regular title, so he was like the regular title holder. I know Kevin and him were actually supposed to fight for that title too, but Kevin, I think, broke his hand or hurt his shoulder, so they couldn't do it. It was like off the back of COVID, so it was crazy times. But yeah, so it's a really good win for Riyad Merhy. I think he's a good fighter. It's interesting because both men are kind of in that weird position where they're too big for Cruiserweight, but they're not as big as some of like the boys in the heavyweight division, that's for sure. You know, I mean, you look at Kevin versus Okoli, Kevin Lerena versus Okoli, he was way outgunned in terms of size. I know he trains with Tyson Fury, so he's probably used to moving around with much kind of bigger, weightier men, but still, it's you know, that's a massive disadvantage for him. I think Riyad Merhy is like 5'11". He's also a bit small for the heavyweight division, but he's definitely too big for Cruiserweight. Those guys would struggle to make Cruiser. So like Bridgerweight's almost like the perfect environment for them. So yeah, how do I think it's going to go? Well, I'm going to go with my countryman, of course, Kevin Lerena. It's tough to go to another person's backyard, but we've seen him do it a few times now. He's gone to like Saudi, which obviously neutral venue when he fought Huni. Obviously kind of a tough one there because he'd lost his mother the night before, so you know anyone would struggle under those circumstances. But you know he's done well when he's gone to the UK. He's done well when he's been on the road. I think he went to like Armenia, it was Azerbaijan when he beat Roman Golovashenko, which was also like, you know, really good win for him in his earlier years. So yeah, big respect to him, and I think he should be fine. I also think he's probably got better hand speed, better power, and yeah, all around a better engine than Ryan Merhy. I mean, this guy is an absolute athlete. He's like the athlete's athlete. If you watch his Instagram, you'll see how he trains. He is just a complete gym rat. High rocks now as well. So, you know, he's got a massively like strong physique and also like a great engine. So I think he moves well for a big guy. So yeah, watch the space. I think I don't love really the direction. I like the fight, but I would have preferred to have seen Lerena versus like another heavyweight. But of course he has a responsibility to defend his title until he gets a different opportunity. So let me know what you think. It's Ringside with Roy. I could really do with some more subscriptions, and like the video if you like what I'm saying. Comment if you disagree, comment with your thoughts, and yeah, have a great day further.